If you are supposed to apply the relaxer, the allotted time is about 20 minutes and you do it under 20 minutes and you still have texture to your hair, therefore your hair is under process. Hey guys, welcome back. What's up, subbies? And hello, newbies. That's anybody checking me out. Maybe for the first time, maybe for the second. We don't count around here. I just want everybody to come on in. Today, we are going to do another over and under. So for anybody who tuned in last week, we talked about over-processed hair, okay? Over-processed hair and how that can be an issue and how we can address it. So today, conversely, we are going to discuss or just touch on under-processed hair, the other side of the coin. So let's get right to it. What exactly is under-processed hair? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So where over-processed hair has been over-processed, whether it be through the timing or application of different chemical processes on the hair, which can leave it damaged, under-processed hair is, as you can imagine, is the opposite of that. Instead of going over the time with under-processed hair, it's going under the time or not using the full timing or the full application of this particular process or chemical process. And as far as this term, it's most often associated with relaxers. So we're going to talk about relaxers specifically, and a lot of people do this on purpose. Thus the term texlaxed, okay? So you are relaxing your hair, but not to the full amount of time or fullest strength. And therefore you are still left with texture in your hair. So therefore, hence the term texlaxed, okay? And like I said, a lot of people do this on purpose because they want to still have texture to their strands. So again, some of the ways to under-process your hair, it could be the timing, not going the full amount of time as far as the application and the straightening of your hair. So you may apply it, but then not smooth it out. That can also leave your hair under-processed or not to its most relaxed result. Also, if you add any type of oil to the relaxer or to your hair, you know how we talked about you can put conditioner or some type of petroleum jelly over those strands to protect them from over-processing? Well, the same can be said as far as under-processing, meaning if you have a whole lot of oil or moisturizer or petroleum jelly or anything in your hair, and then you go to apply the relaxer, that can also leave your hair under process because it's sort of blocking the process of the relaxer to relax your strands. It's sort of blocking the whole full potential and potency of the relaxer on your strands. Therefore, you can have under processed hair as a result of that as well. Not using the full amount of the activator in the whole mixture, because with relaxers there is the cream part, okay? It's two parts. So you got the base of the relaxer, then you have the activator, and that's what makes the relaxer relax. And not using the full amount of the activator that was given to put into the relaxer, that can cause your hair to be under processed. Another way, okay, that you're getting under processed hair is by not using the proper strength relaxer on your hair. And again, you know, I don't do super duper. So for me, it's between mild and normal or regular. So if the mild is too mild, you may want to push it up a notch to normal or regular if that's what you're looking for. So what are the signs of under-processed hair? So if you apply the relaxer, and after applying the relaxer, it still feels coarse. It feels as if you did not even apply the relaxer in certain parts. If you still have a curl to your hair, okay, pretty much. If your hair, after applying the relaxer, if the before picture looks just like the after picture, if everything almost looks and feels the same, that's pretty much a telltale sign that your hair is underprocessed or texlaxed, like I said. And it may not be your whole head. It still feels a little coarse in some parts. Then that's a pretty good sign that your hair is underprocessed in those parts, okay, or on those parts. Now, unlike with overprocessed hair, underprocessed hair is not so much of a burden on the health of your hair as it is more so an inconvenience or an aesthetic annoyance, okay, as far as your hair concerned, especially for those who never even intended for it to come out that way. For those who really wanted the fully relaxed look, it can be more of an inconvenience, if anything. When you underprocess your hair, it can be in patches, okay? So not only can it be all over your head, like for those who intended to have the texlaxed look, but also it can be in patches, okay? Certain parts could have processed differently, again, depending on what type of moisturizers or dressings were on your hair or different products. It can underprocess in certain parts, and therefore you have patches. For those of us who did not intend on having texlaxed hair, how can we address it and have more so a uniformed look? Well, there are ways to address it. Now, one of the ways that we can address this, and this is for all those who sort of stumbled into texlaxed country and didn't really intend on staying there, there are some ways to address it, okay? So first of all, this is what I would do, okay? This is what I would do. Wait until your next touch-up. Now, I know that can be, that can be aggravating. That can be a little, I know you want to jump right at it and relax it right away so that it gets straight. I wouldn't touch it. Don't touch it. Wait until your normal touch-up day, week, whatever. So if you normally relax every 8 weeks, if you normally relax every 10 weeks, wait until that 10th week. Stay within that schedule. And then when you go to relax, go, I say, as normal, meaning relax your hair as you would normally do it. So do your roots and do everything that you would normally do first. Apply the relaxer as normal to your roots and your edges, making sure that it is fully applied, getting enough product. That's another way that you can have underprocessed hair. So put enough product on these parts so that they can relax the normal way. And then just shy of that full relaxer time, so let's say when you have about 5 to 10 minutes left on that full relaxer time, that's when I would apply the relaxer to the underprocessed hair. Now, of course, your underprocessed hair has already been processed one time before. So we do not need the full time of the relaxer time on these parts. So with that being said, you want to apply the relaxer as normal to all the new growth and the edges. And then, like I said, just shy of that full time, let's say about 5 to 10 minutes before it's time to rinse everything out, wash everything out, that's when I would apply the relaxer to the underprocessed parts. And when you do this, apply as normal, apply the normal amount, and I would still smooth, just like you would smooth your roots, smooth this part too, or these parts as well. Then once that is done, rinse, wash, condition as normal, and you should get a better result. It should be a little bit more uniform, because of course we don't want to go from under to over. Okay, so we don't want to go from one extreme to the next extreme. So my thing would be to be mindful of the time and the application. As with anything with these processes, timing can be everything. And of course, when you are processing it, when you're applying it and smoothing it, you can feel it coming straight. So you should know by feeling and seeing it. So with that being said, after you've applied it to everything and everywhere, you want to rinse, wash, condition, and style as normal. And like I said, it should be closer, if not more uniform to the rest of your hair. On top of that, okay, once you style it and get it all together, you know what I'm about to say. I'm not playing around. Make sure it's trimmed. Make sure your ends look good and make sure you trim those ends. I said it in the last video that I'm going to be a broken record. I want you to make sure that those ends are correct, honey. Why is she always talking about trimming ends? Why we got trim ends? She keeps saying that she a broken record. I don't like hearing it. That's right. I'm talking about trimming ends, and anybody who don't like it, tough cookies. That's right. I'm going to mention it. That is me. You know, and I know that you know, I ain't giving up trimming ends. Trimming ends are the way to go. I need you to stay on top of those ends and trim them. So as far as underprocessed hair, I think that's pretty much it. So again, compared to overprocessed hair, it's not as dire a situation as far as the health of your hair. Because like I said, a lot of people, they underprocess their hair on purpose. That's what they want. That's what they like. That is their zhuzh. They are texlaxed. They relax their hair, okay, just shy of getting it straight. And I hesitate to use bone straight. I know a lot of people use the term bone straight. Not that I have an issue with it per se, but I only hesitate because I know once you get your relaxer and you rinse it out, it does look and feels silky bone straight. But once you start, at least with my hair, when you start to style it, you still feel the texture to your hair. So your texture is never really fully gone, okay? Not fully gone. There's usually some texture left, but this is not a bone of contention for me. And yes, pun intended. These ain't fighting words. I'm not fighting with nobody that says bone straight. I don't have an issue with it per se. I'm just saying I'm hesitant to use it only because, at least with my hair, and at least with my intentions, it's not to get it bone straight, okay? But I understand when people use it. So we ain't squaring up over it. We good. You use the term bone straight. I ain't got no problem with you, but I get it. In comparison to texlaxed or just having natural hair, relaxed hair, I guess would be bone straight compared to those. But in all actuality, when you relax your hair, you still have some texture to your hair. At least I do. Obviously not as much as texlaxed, okay? But for those who never intended for that particular aesthetic for their hair, where I can see there would be a problem is dealing with the two textures, of course. Dealing with two textures on your hair, be careful. Because in dealing with these two textures, of course, your underprocessed hair would respond to heat differently than your fully processed hair. As far as if you're flat ironing it, it may take more passes to get that underprocessed hair to look as straight as your fully processed parts. So with that, I want to say be careful, okay? Be careful. When moisturizing your strands, again, the underprocessed part may take that moisture a little differently as far as, any oils or anything that you're topical, any products that you put on your hair, the underprocessed hair may respond to it differently as opposed to the rest of your hair. So with that, I say be careful. As well as styling your hair, outside of heat, just combing it, dealing with two textures, depending on how severe they are, dealing with them and combing them and brushing them, I say be careful. I just say be patient, wait until your next relaxer day, and then get it all together. As far as shortening the gap between the two textures and get your hair to look more uniformed. But those are the things that I would be careful of as far as underprocessed hair. So I just wanted to drop that on you, okay? Drop that on you real quick. Under and over and under, okay? So we addressed those two things. So I think we can put a button on this. What do you think? I think we can, and end scene. So that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, okay? I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really do. I really do. I do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We got some more stuff to chit-chat about. We got some more stuff to talk about, honey. And we got some more stuff to show and tell, because that's what we do around here. We show and tell. And we like to share around here because sharing is caring. At least that's what they say in the street. So with that being said, you gotta come back for that. So you already know. It's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back.